Hi everyone and welcome to episode 310 of the Mighty Whites podcast. I'm Jack, as always joined by KC.
Now then.
How's things, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. You?
Yeah, all good. Work done for the day at least. Unfortunately, I am going to have to do the thing that I hate doing, and that is miss the Leeds game because I'm working during it. And I am definitely going to not watch it while I'm at work. So yeah, it makes me handle the stress of Leeds games a little bit better because I have a slight distraction. But what tends to happen is I'll have 2 minutes of not distracted and then 2 minutes of, chewing down to about the third knuckle on my nails.
It's a lot of knuckle.
Yeah. I was going to say fifth and then went, right, is the exaggeration right or wrong? Too much or not enough?
Is that an elbow at that? But if you reached the fifth knuckle,
yeah,
it's the elbow, the ultimate knuckle.
Yeah. It's like the fourth hole. Anyway.
Moving on.
Yeah. Right. I had a transition. Remind me to tell you after because I'm not saying it on the thing. We may as well just get the bit of news out of the way. Angus Kinnear to Everton hasn't actually been announced yet, but all the stories are up saying it's happening. It was either 1st of June or 1st of July. But it's done. And Leeds have already brought in Peter McCormick to be the executive vice chairman, who was interim chairman of the FA and the Premier League, and is on like 3 different Premier League boards and all of that stuff. And apparently his job is to oversee the transition from Angus Kinnear to whomever is next.
I mean, you have to say it's a shrewd move from Angus Kinnear. He's run his contract down. He's seen what's available.
Yeah, he's got that big Bosman transfer.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we just have to mention it because it's news. The truth is, as with anything at the corp, the only time that you ever care about the corporate level of the club is when they're making a real mess of it. And although Leeds have made a mess of it previously, right now, I couldn't say they are. So I don't particularly care.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah, it's fine. And they'll get someone else in next who I also probably won't care about. Burnley won in midweek, and by the looks of it, Burnley, Sheffield United and Sunderland are probably going to win this weekend. Have you seen their fixtures?
I have not.
Burnley have got Luton at home. Sheffield United have got Preston at home. Sunderland have got Cardiff at home.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll probably back the treble and then back the separate Burnley and Sheffield United double, I reckon.
Yeah.
And hope to lose money. But yeah, because their fixtures are, and obviously it's only ever in theory. In theory, they've got very easy fixtures. I know that they're all massive games at this stage and they all feel must win. But if Sheffield United go level on points with us, it's going to feel really nervy on Sunday. And they probably are going to do that.
Yeah. Just makes you think it was all a waste. All that celebrating.
Yeah. Yeah, but imagine if we hadn't won those games.
It'd have all been a waste, Jack.
Yeah.
Ultimately, what I've come away from this thinking is everything is futile.
I mean, it's a bit existential, but yes, objectively. It'll be a tough game. It's because Portsmouth, you don't necessarily think of them as that good a side. 17th, and they on paper and they've got a load of players injured, but they have won 3 of the last 4, and like the last 6 results are a 0-0 with Burnley, which because it's a 0-0 involving Burnley is more to do with Burnley than anything else. But 2-1 defeat away at Sheffield United in a game they should have won. Beat Cardiff 2-1, won 2-0 at Oxford, beat QPR 2-1, and then got beat 1-0 at Luton, which is a bad result considering how Luton are now. But it looks as if that was just a really shit game and Luton nicked it. They are not a bad side at all. And current form are probably a lot better than 17th.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking here now, and in terms of at home, played 17, won 8, drawn 5, lost 4, puts them 11th in home games. So yeah, it does seem like they've found their feet a little bit. And yeah, they're putting some decent performances, but we definitely should beat them.
Oh yeah, like absolutely we should. I did mention that they've got a load of injuries, and I've just looked there. Like Callum Lang, who was pretty good at Ellen Road, is out. Jake Farrell, Paddy Lane, Connor Shaughnessy, Rob Atkinson, Hayden. So there's like 3 different centre backs out by the looks of it. Like this predicted lineup, and just looking at the last few games, is just what they've been playing. Yeah, because they brought in Hayden Matthews, and he's now injured as well. So like the last game, it was Regan Poole and Marlon Pack. And I mean, Marlon Pack is not a centre half. Like he just isn't. So they're really struggling for players at the back. I didn't realise they've signed that. I still don't know how to pronounce it. Adil, is it Auchiche? Auchich? The one from Sunderland?
Wachiche?
Yeah, he's been playing number 10 for them. And whenever I've seen him, he's always looked decent, but he hasn't really got much of a chance up there. I'm looking at the team that they played against Luton. And for everything that I've just said about, they're in decent nick and, good, they're a much better side than they look and all that stuff. I mean, Josh Murphy's good on wing, but like Matt Ritchie must be about 75 years old at this point. And I say that knowing that I'm pretty sure that he also played in a team that beat us in the playoff final last year.
Yeah, but so did Adam Armstrong, and look where he is now. Still in the Championship.
Yeah.
And I have no real bugbear with him, but there he was.
Yeah, it's
anyway, God bless Jorginho.
It doesn't look like much of a side. Like Colby Bishop up top, he's not a world beater by any stretch. He's like works fairly hard and stuff, but he's one thing that he might do is when I've seen him, he looks to be a pretty good finisher. So if he does get a chance, we probably won't get away with it. I also hadn't realised that in middle of midfield, the middle of midfield is very 2 players you'd end up with in midfield in like a League One side on FM 10 years ago, Isaac Hayden and Andre Dazelle.
Yeah.
I didn't realise Isaac Hayden was there, actually. But yeah, the only player I'm looking at in that side, to be honest, and actually having any real fear of is Josh Murphy.
Yeah, he's no Jacob Murphy.
I mean, that is true.
Decent player for mid-championship, I would say.
Yeah, he was brilliant at Oxford. I know it was League One, but he was really good for them. And that performance he put in the playoff final, he basically got them promoted with how well he played.
Yeah. But yeah, as you look through that, there really isn't a whole lot. The concern is, like you say there, if they're given a decent chance, they have got someone there who will take it, and there is always one. There is always one decent chance, at least.
Almost always, yeah. We have had a couple of games this season where that wasn't true. Because, was it Plymouth and some... Was there Plymouth that had 0.00?
Between that and Burnley.
Yeah. But yeah, they are very consistently 4-2-3-1, so tactically it's not that interesting. I don't think that... Don't get me wrong, I don't think they'll be extravagant. But I don't think they will just really sit and hold the edge of the box from what I've seen of them. I reckon they'll probably start quite aggressively and press high. And if it doesn't work, then they'll drop in and just start knocking it long to Colby Bishop. Because he's a good, he'll give Roden and Strauch a difficult... He'll make them work hard, but I would fancy Roden and Strauch to deal with him fairly well. There's not a great deal tactically to say. Bogle's still on 9 yellows, isn't he? And he's we've got this game and one more, so this and Millwall on Wednesday, to get through. And I think he's our only player on 9, so that's something to look out for. The only real thing that's more interesting in that, because with the lack of options they've got, looking at this, other than it maybe being instead of Matt Ritchie, they'll play Cade Gordon on the wing. Other than that, the team almost picks itself. So it looks like Schmid in goal, Devlin, Poole, Pack, Ogilvie, Hayden and Dazelle, Murphy, Achic, probably, I reckon, Ritchie, Bishop, unless there's injuries and stuff that I don't know about. I think what's more interesting is what we do. Because the press conference has been today. I didn't watch it. I've just read on Twitter. Same squad as the West Brom game. Bamford's back in training, but he ain't available yet. Do you think we'll make any changes?
I'm trying to think if you make a change to either of the wingers.
I think you could argue for one. I don't think he will, but I think he might on Wednesday.
Yeah. Well, it's like we said, isn't it? That it's now 3 games in 6 days.
Yeah.
So those positions he can do, because I do think you probably get something similar in the middle of midfield again, where I think there's a very good chance you see Gruev, Rothwell, and Tanaka each start 2 of those games, to get some extra minutes in. You've definitely got the options there, and you do need to, especially on weeks like this, you do need to get the use out of Nonto and Ramazani.
Yeah. If it was me, I would start Nonto for Solomon in this game, because I think Solomon will be more useful against Millwall than he will in this. So I would have Solomon play Wednesday and Nonto play this one. I also think that because it's nothing to do with the on the ball stuff. In fact, it probably does make us slightly worse. But off the ball, our midfield was pretty poor against West Brom, especially in the first half. So I think he might go back to Gruev Tanaka.
I'd be interested with that purely because I thought Gruev had 2 fairly poor games back to back. So whether Rothwell gets another run at that one, I don't think Tanaka drops out.
No, he's been the most consistent one, so I'd be surprised. And I think he'll start all 3. He just might come off after an hour. Well, sorry, Daniel Farker, 70 minutes. Let's keep it realistic here. I think he'll probably start them all, but he'll probably come off in 2 of them.
Yeah.
I think he will pick Gruev. I don't think I would. I think I'd stick with Rothwell for another game. But yeah, I think he will. The only other argument is Aronson has done basically sod all for about 5 games. And I mean, stats-wise, it's a lot longer than that, but just in terms of performances. And he's got dragged off twice. And quite early, the last couple of games. Dragged off is harsh, subbed.
He's been hauled.
Yeah.
Yanked off.
Yeah, all right, Jim Ross, calm down. There is an argument for, does someone else play 10? Whether that is Nonto or Ramazani or Piru and Joseph plays.
Can't someone else do it?
I don't think. I think that. I think it's going to be the same front four as the last game, but there are options there, and I would not mind seeing them.
Yeah, I suppose the optimist that Daniel Farke is, it will probably look at a game like this and think this is an ideal situation for Aronson to play himself back into form. Is playing a team lower down the table. Whereas I look at Brendan Aronson and think I don't think his performances are based on the opposition whatsoever.
No, and if anything, the more you want him in, is the better the team we're playing. Because that's when it's going to be more difficult to create stuff through loads of possession, and you might need someone to win the ball high up the pitch and press, and that is where he'll probably be stronger. It's kind of an odd game, this one, because one, I hate that it's Sunday midday. I don't have the stats in front of me, but did you see that tweet going around about how shit we are at early kickoffs?
No.
Considering how little, this season, considering how often we win, I think we'd won 2 out of 7 or 2 out of 8 when it kicked off half 1 hour earlier. Which is, it shouldn't matter, but I don't know, it seems to. And I think that just because I'm so convinced the other 3 are going to win, I think the pressure is going to be on this massively. And I hope to be wrong. You know, I don't think it'll be 4-0 in the same way, but you know that QPR away game last season?
Yeah.
I've got the same.
I've had images of that tight stadium.
Yeah, that's what I just keep thinking about that game and thinking, oh, I don't really like this one. Even though, again, that thing that I've been trying to say, I was going to say all 11. Is that true? I have no idea whether Nicholas Schmiding is any good. But the 10 outfield players, we are better every position.
Yeah.
So we should win. But I don't fancy this one at all.
I really hope this is I really hope this is the same as the performance at Vicarage Road.
Yeah.
Just turn up and turn them over.
Yeah. Make me feel stupid for having this feeling. It's a bit like it was Chef Wednesday at home where I was just sat there before kickoff going, there's no Forest today. I don't know why. And it was absolutely fine. So I'm hoping it's just standard Leeds pessimism. But yeah, there's something about this game that I'm really not looking forward to. I wonder when I'm looking at that, I really am thinking that I would quite like to see Peru behind Joseph for this game. And by all means bring Aronson back in on Wednesday. That's fine if that's what he wants to do. But I think I'd prefer that because I think even though I don't think they'll sit on the edge of the box, I think we're going to have loads of the ball. And I think that we have a better chance of creating with Peru at 10 than Aronson at 10.
Yeah, I mean, again, if you're going to do it, this is the sort of game to do it in. But there is the part of me thinking we are getting to a point with Mateo Joseph where I think a lot of people are getting frustrated when he comes on.
Yeah. It's harder for me. Like I still think he's going to be a good player, but the evidence is getting harder for me to win that argument at the minute. He was fine when he came on in the last game. He had a good run and hit the bar, and then he spent the next 5 minutes after being. Although actually, there's a thought. He did get an ankle injury in the last game, didn't he? So although he said it's the same squad, I don't know if they'll want to start him because it depends how fit he is as well.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I was about to say it's a bit Tyler Roberts with him at this point. Like I know there's something there. I can see it, but
But you're seeing it far too rarely.
Yeah. I mean, in Tyler Roberts' case as well, it was injuries and a promotion that really did for him.
Yeah.
He's got his Premier League goal, bless him. He'll always have that. He'll always have Southampton.
Yeah.
Like I say, if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it against a team that's 17th in the table. I don't think it will happen.
Yeah. I mean, we're already at a point where like Portsmouth have had a good season. Like they're 8 points above the relegation zone, so 8 points isn't that much. But given the number of points total everyone's on, it's hard to see that getting caught. And especially when there's 4 teams between them and the relegation zone.
Imagine if they'd have beaten Luton.
Yeah. That's why I don't think they'll just sit back. If there were 2 points above, I think they'd just be sitting there and all hands to the pump, try and get a 0-0. Because they've got that little bit of cushion, I think they'll probably, like a lot of teams should really. It's so weird where if you go for us a little bit but keep your discipline, I think you've got a chance of scoring. It's if you do what like Cardiff and Coventry did, which is have a go and also just have no structure whatsoever out of possession and then you'll get hammered. I don't know loads about John Mourinho as a coach, other than he's like really, really, really well liked. You know, everyone, like, you always hear Portsmouth fans talking him up quite a lot. And that, given he's been there, like a couple of years at this point, if no one's got any grumbles, that's a pretty good sign. Especially in the second season when they're struggling a bit. The League One season, more understandable, but there seems to be very, very few complaints with him, so he must be doing quite a good job.
Yeah. I didn't realise John Mourinho was he was a fighting Irishman.
Oh no! Well, I was gonna say Notre Dame, but Notre Dame. Yeah, I more know him as stalwart of Wycombe Wanderers because he was at Wycombe while I was living with Woody at uni, and he's a Wycombe fan, so it came up a lot.
That man is a journeyman. But yeah, fair play to him. Like he's definitely doing a decent job with them. Because I think that was the thing when you looked at those teams that came up. Them and Oxford, you would just kind of look at them budget wise, and I knew that they didn't have a lot to work with. And then I think seeing them at the start of the season, seeing how open they were at times, you did look and think they might ship a lot here, but they do seem to have got sort of lower mid-table sorted at least.
Yeah, I must admit, I thought Portsmouth would be fine. I thought Oxford might struggle just financially, but I thought Derby would be fine as well, and they're bottom at league and 7 points from safety.
Yeah,
like I thought that Derby would be okay. I've been quite impressed with what Oxford have done, but yeah, this game, I am sure that everything that I said about how easy the other three games are, I bet that on whatever Burnley podcast or whatever it is, they'll be saying the same about this for us. But I think this is such a more difficult game. Especially given that we didn't even beat them at home. And I know that was a bit of a ridiculous game where we probably could have won that about 6-1. But still.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is, we've only lost twice away from home. We are...
Is that all? So we've got Millwall away and... Who's the other one? Because we lost 1-0 at Millwall. I remember that. Who else have we lost away to?
I don't remember.
Because because at the start of the season, our away form.
Blackburn.
Oh yeah, that
wonderful game.
Oh, he's gonna. Have we still got to play Derby away? No, we haven't. We've already beat him. It's fine.
Yeah, it's grand.
Because I was going to say, is he going to do that again, where he just beats us 1-0 again?
Gets relegated, still manages to beat us.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah,
that's good. At least we don't have to worry about that. But no, the obviously Murphy's the one that worries me, but Bogle's been pretty good, and the way that he worries me is on the counter. I don't actually think he'll sort of get on the ball and really rip us to shreds just with dribbling. It's just that he is good enough that if they do get a counter attack, he's definitely good enough to punish us. And Bishop's a good enough finisher to get on the end of it if it's a cross. I'm you see, I don't really know enough because I don't know anything about their fullbacks. I have to assume our wingers are better than their fullbacks. But there's something wonderfully old school about the name Terry Devlin at right back. He definitely won the FA Cup in 1976. Terry Devlin.
Playing the 30s, and here comes Terence Devlin.
Yeah. See, before I hear that voice, and have you seen the Shane Gillis bit about the last time white people were cool?
Mm.
And it's just, and then Jackie Robinson steps up to the plate and they go, ah. And that's all, when I hear that old commentary voice. That's all I hear. For one, that miracle of miracles, Connie's prediction was in first. They've, unsurprisingly, there is a lot more confidence than there is with me and you. Connie's 3-1 win, Alex 2-0, Benny 3-0. I have a bad feeling I am going for a 1-1 draw.
I'm going to go for a 3-1 win.
Well, I'm desperately hoping that you all get points. Because I really do feel like if we had a bad result here, and that would likely mean level on points for Sheffield United and only 2 points clear of Burnley, and even like 8 points to Sunderland, I think everyone's arse will start nipping. Like,
I mean, it doesn't take a lot for us to lose it when it's going well.
Oh no, we can have an absolute meltdown. I mean, again, we shouldn't be this nervous. We've said it loads of times. If we get 5 wins? That's 90 points with 6 other games.
Yeah,
but it's just so tight still. The one thing that I am sort of trying to remember, because I do keep forgetting, is that Sheffield United and Burnley play each other in the running. It's like 3 from the end or something.
Yeah,
and that does help. I think that's probably the reason why we're so much more favoured than I think we should be. Both bookies odds and like the Opta stuff. I think it's that game, knowing that either they both have to drop 2 or one of them has to drop 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is the one like sort of crumb of comfort. But I sort of want us to be looking at that game between them two going, right, because neither of you can win this, we're going to extend our already 7-point lead. And then I'll start to feel confident. But yeah, this should be on paper, again, we should win. In reality, I think this is a really tough one.
That'll be fine. Probably.
Yeah. And they're just, I don't know. It's also, I haven't looked this up, but like we never win at Portsmouth, do we?
I mean, there's 2 games that come to mind, and I think they both involve
shipping 6
and the scoring 6 in the FA Cup. Bruno, listen,
FA Cup doesn't count.
Listen, if Clive Vinehard can score there, then I think we'll be fine.
See if I can find one. Well, that's handy. The bottom of who scored. Portsmouth are undefeated in their last 5 home games against Leeds United.
Did they win them?
Undefeated. So I assume no, because it would have said 1 if they had won. But no, the games that come to me is I just remember loads of really shit performances, and that was it 6-0 or 6-1 that we got beat.
6-1.
Yeah.
Nightingale scores. Oh wait, when we lost, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it might have been 0.
Yeah, that was a. Yes, it was 6. Yes, 6-1. Your boy Gary O'Neill scored. Dejan Stefanovic, O'Neill again, Patrick Berger, Yakubu, and Hayden Fox.
Jesus.
And Alan Smith made it 1-1 before it really went to shit.
Oh, so that is like the FA Cup game. They equalised. Nightingale scored, and then we just went, that'll be this. Bruno Rivero scored that day. It was wonderful.
And they also had Teddy Sheringham as well.
No, of course they did.
Yeah. And
Cammy would probably only just moved there.
Yeah, God, there's loads of crossover because we had Steve Stone. Yeah, I've just got the leads here. Robinson, Kelly, Matteo Dewberry, Alembe, Pennant, Morris, Roque Jr., Seth Johnson, Smith, and Milner. And the subs bench of Carson, Hart, Zamana Kamara, Michael Bridges, and Lamine Sacco.
This is Michael Bridges, who is absolutely not fit at this point.
Yeah, he's like
Mark Viduka, who I think is refusing to play for Peter Reid.
Yeah, or either that or suspended again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not the only game I think of. I think that might be why I've got such a bad feeling, just because we're always shit at Portsmouth.
But apart from that.
Apart from all those times, yeah. So, yeah, hopefully all of these fears are completely unfounded and we can get a win. We play again Wednesday, don't we?
Yeah.
So probably Sunday or Monday.
Yeah.
We'll be back to preview the Millwall game, which will be another. Now that one I anticipate will be properly. They will sit deep, try and get some set pieces and whack it into the box. And I mean, they defended. They were pretty good at their place at doing that. So that game worries me as well.
It doesn't count when it's at the Den. That's different.
Yeah, fair. But yeah, that will do us for episode 310 of the Mighty West podcast. It's a properly just thrown together, just finished work, zero notes job, but it should do. So I've been Jack. See you.